Hey, what's going on? You don't be seeing me a lot on here, do you? No, you don't. You don't be seeing me like that. This is Achad, man. Welcome to the Holography YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a public side and a private side, and the private side deals more with the Patreon. So let me just pull that up right quick. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about kung fu, but first, let's talk about this holography where you get the da'at, and then there's the keter. Is some of y'all that's Kabbalists? You like the Kabbalah? Yes. This is basing it off of that. So get involved. You know what I'm saying? Death Star Legacy and Alchemy Isis Thesis. I do that every week. The students in that are learning some stuff that none of these occultists ain't telling you. It's just like that video I did with the Force, El Elyon Elohim. I know there are things about the Force or the Kabbalah and all that they're not telling. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not telling you. So this is why you want to get into the Keter, but get into one of these membership levels. Support the channel. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel. But yeah, man. Also, thought I forgot. You thought I forgot, didn't you? Because I ain't start off the video with this. But holography, the whole writing of the arts and sciences as one educational discipline. Al-Akkad, you know what I'm saying? Let me put the banner up so you know where to go find it at. holographer.com/the-book. Make sure you get it. It's thick, like one of those belly dancers, you know what I'm saying? Not the skinny ones that are American and Anglo-Saxon, but the ones that are from like an indigenous culture. Yeah, this is what you want. You know what I'm saying? Shake you out of those shackles on your mind of people that think they know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna talk about some kung fu today. What the off feet ass? You know what I'm saying? Your Bruce Lees and your Ron Van Cleefs and your Michael Jai Whites, you know what I mean? The Venom brothers played in five deadly venoms. But this is going to have like a more of a occult esoteric context because, and especially dealing with spirituality because you know people be sitting up here claiming that they're spiritualists. They be claiming that they're occultists. They be claiming that they're metaphysicians. All these different titles to describe whatever it is that they doing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that they say that they practice and say that they tell you that they do that. You know what I mean? Um, where's the discipline? You know me. I said when I first put up, did I say that? I think I said it. I want my name, Alakad or Altuil, if you know me by that name, to be synonymous with discipline. So when you think discipline, when you hear discipline, when you see these um health or fitness gurus talking about discipline or these self-help motherfuckers talking about discipline, you should think of this face right here. I'm like an overstern father. You better do your motherfucking work. Stop playing. Before I pop you upside your head. You know what I'm saying? Take that leather to your ass. You know what I mean? That's how I am when it comes to this stuff. Everybody doesn't have to be like me. They don't have to approach it that way. I'm approaching this thing from a discipline point of view because with the discipline, when you put in that type of work and you put it in that type of structure, you'll get a result that's going to be greater than if you didn't do it at all. See, the better things are the harder things. They're more difficult. They take more effort. They take more will, more mind power. You know what I'm saying? You got people out here that they don't really have that discipline and think that they have a talent or they sitting here purporting that they are that powerful and magical that they somehow just because they said it. You know what I'm saying? But where's the practice? Where's the discipline? Where's the exercise? Where's the training? So I would say that my approach to spirituality has a kung fu flavor to it. In that, if we deal with the actual etymology, that's why I have it pulled up here. Let me change my screen. No, let's deal with this one. So kung fu is really the Chinese gong fu. So you know that, when once Chinese and Asian words get to our language, it's been Romanized or anglicized, where some of the letters are changed and some of the vowels are switched. You know what I'm saying? Like Tao or Tao. It's Tao, but they, when they Romanize it, it's Tao. But it's the same thing with this Kung Fu. So it's actually Gong Fu. You know what I'm saying? And just we're gonna go deeper into or depthical, but just right here off the bat, when you do your just a regular Google search, it's Gong Fu, which Gong means merit or respect, or what I'm saying, gaining that that status, that respect, and then master Fu. You know what I'm saying? So Gong Fu or Kung Fu is merit master. But let's do some more shoveling into that. A little bit more shoveling. You know what I'm saying? Got to do the shovelings. When you're doing this type of archaeological dig, you shovelings. You know what I'm saying? So they even say right here, Kung Fu, 1966, I guess, is when it started to become something in our American culture, or just U.S. culture, a generalized Western term for Chinese martial arts, from dialectal Chinese Kung Fu, a term said to refer to any skill acquired through learning or practice. Very fucking key word. Practice. Very key. Very, 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 very key. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to go into this Britannica dictionary because they got the best. Yeah, here we go. They got the best explanation to me when you do this stuff online. So they recognize it as Gong Fu, Kung Fu skill, Pinyin Gong Fu, a martial art, both a form of exercise with a spiritual, I put too many syllables on that, my bad, with a spiritual dimension stemming from the concentration and self-discipline in a primarily unarmed mode of personal combat, often equated with karate or taekwondo. The term kung fu can also signify careful preparation for the performance of any skillful endeavor without interference from the intellect or the emotions. So I love this definition because it's about what we're talking about today. Tao Kung Fu, a spiritualist discipline. So, like I said, I approach spirituality from a disciplined vantage point, from that viewpoint. So, back in 2016, when I was, certified as a Kung Fu student within my Sifu, which is Chinese for master, in my Sifu's temple, it fit right in with what I was already doing. You know how something just fits right in, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a woman and you're having sex with a dude, but his dick just is not that's not the key for your door, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe like a decade later, you finally find a key for your door, sis. Woo! It's the dick that fits. Ain't too big, ain't too small, it fits right on it. It's kind of like that without the sex involved. But because there's other types of approaches to the spiritual thing. This one fit me because I come from discipline. Stern father. I come from that. Some of y'all got it, some of y'all don't. Even if it ain't your father, it could be a grandfather, uncle, older brother, cousin, some, you know what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers gonna sit here and say their dad wasn't there. But you had some sort of male role model somewhere in there. You had a coach, a teacher, you know what I'm saying, at school or something like that. But for me, it's discipline and harsh punishment. Again, this doesn't have to be your experience. I'm just telling you that this is what helps me understand these things better than other people do. I'm making that claim because when you are going through the experiential learning and you are going through the exercise and the training, it's different from if you're just picking up a fucking book or thinking you know everything. That experiential learning through tests, through strenuous gauntlets, through, you know what I'm saying, getting hit, being able to take the pain, being able to block, being able to, that's a whole experiential learning. It's a goal that a lot of y'all never get to. It's a shoveling you will never get to because you don't do the shoveling. You got to do the shoveling here, man. Can't just be sitting here reading everything and thinking that the book is going to give you the experience for you. No, you got to get in the trenches. The trenches. Yeah, those Chirac rappers are funny as hell. When I'm hype, I listen to the Chirac rappers. But anyway, even in this definition, it's just a general definition for anybody to see. It's not even a cult. And they sit here and sum it up very well for me. You know what I'm saying? A martial kung fu means a skill. So some of y'all have skills that are not really sharpened. You probably have talents, but it's not really a skill of yours because you're not practicing it. Praxis. As an alchemist, we deal with that 3-tier level. It's right here in my book. Philosophy, some of y'all get stuck there. Theory, a lot of y'all get stuck there. Practice, I need y'all to unstick yourselves from those 2 levels and come down to the practice level. You know what I'm saying? That's where the discipline is applied. So that's why Kung Fu fits me so well, because I'm used to doing the practice. I'm used to the experiential learning, the praxis. Let me put that word up on the screen so you don't forget it. You use your thumb all day, man. Hold on. We scrolling through praxis. That's a key term. Practice is praxis. It's the same meaning, differently spelled. Skill. I'm honing my spiritual skills. What are you doing with your spirituality? You know what I'm saying? Because this type of shit turns people off that aren't disciplined. You can tell. They don't want to do the strenuous activity to improve themselves. They don't want to do that. And that's why we have no business with each other. I don't deal with undisciplined individuals. The farthest I go into that territory is someone that has the potential for discipline and they want to do it and they want to see what it's all about. That's as far as I go in that territory. I have no business or no contract or nothing. I'll have nothing to do with undisciplined individuals. You don't want those people in your life. I'm going to tell you why. Because they can influence you to be undisciplined. This is one of the things you can take away and put it. You can even put it like as a banner on the top of your computer. You can put it as a wall paper or a screen saver on your phone. Fear nothing except the lack of discipline. That's part of my practice. You think about all the fears that could afflict you throughout the entire life, from the time you come out the womb up into your adulthood now. All the things you feared. Not even necessarily fearing people, and but fearing certain events, fearing certain outcomes. You know what I'm saying? I only fear the lack of discipline. And since I don't lack discipline, there is nothing to fear. And that's something I'm not just saying, I'm doing. I'm in the praxis of it. Because if I wasn't in the praxis of it, it would just be empty rhetoric. It would just be slogans and sayings with no real, experiential gold behind it. You know what I'm saying? With no wisdom behind that. See, a lot of y'all just be sitting here saying things that you heard someone say or just what you read. There's no wisdom behind it. Where's your wisdom? Where's your expertise? See, with the Kung Fu thing, you get to practice your expertise. And it doesn't just have to be limited to martial arts or, fighting and what the hell? It doesn't have to just be that, because it tells you right here. The term Kung Fu can also signify the careful preparation for any performance or skillful endeavor. So what if you're a singer? What if you're a cook, like you're a chef? Some discipline you got to learn with that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a chef and you fixing my motherfucking sushi, nigga, your hands better be clean. Your sink better be clean, and that fish better be well prepared. Whereas, you mitigated some of those motherfucking parasites and bacteria out of that fish. That's discipline. That's skill. The way you use that motherfucking Japanese blade to cut that motherfucking maguro and that mackerel, nigga. Yo, you might not be a sushi fan like me. Some of y'all scared to eat raw fish. But anyway, the skill of that blade, that takes skill. That takes, preparation. You got to learn it. You got to practice that. You can't just read a fucking book and be like, oh, I now know it. That's a lot of y'all out there. You're scholars without practitioner or without being a practitioner. Armchair scholar. Where's your experiential learning? I go through this extensively in this book, man. And even though this is a book, this is a call to get discipline. This is a call to practice, call to praxis. Fam. So, and then when it sits here and talks about, it's a form of exercise with a spiritual dimension, that's me all day. That's me all week. Because it ain't just a materialist understanding. Like, this is spiritualist. This is metaphysical. This is beyond the matter. This is mind over matter for real. Because they've been saying that phrase for damn near decades, maybe centuries. Mind over matter. Maybe even millennia saying that. But who really puts in the motherfucking work, man? Y'all talking about inner work. This is the inner work. This is the kung fu. Again, it's not limited to karate, taekwondo, judo. You know what I'm saying? It's not limited to that. Capoeira, some of y'all. Remember the Eddie dude from Tekken? Capoeira, you know what I mean? It ain't just that. It's a part of what I do, but it ain't the full extent of what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because when I got inducted into the Tao Kung Fu that I practice today, it was never about exhibition. Remember in that movie, what was it, the Enter the Dragon? Where he's talking about this is not an exhibition, you need emotional content. I don't do my kung fu to practice in front of people, in a fucking auditorium or in a fucking competition. We don't do this for belts. See, my Sifu told me that at the jump before I was even inducted into the shit. This is not for exhibition. You will not be getting belts for this. This is not karate. This is not taekwondo. You know what I'm saying? This is not kickboxing. Because a lot of people do those fighting styles, or get into that shit for the sport of it, which again, I'm not knocking them for it. But when you get into the exhibition of it, where you're showing off, it's all about showmanship, where you breaking fucking bricks that you put in the freezer with water, and it make it seem like you really breaking a real brick when it's really just fragile because you froze it that way. That's showmanship. We are beyond the showmanship. I don't do my kung fu for showmanship. You know what I'm saying? Not even really for sport either. But the spiritual element and being able to, have the concentration and the self-discipline, that's real for me. I do that. We do that shit. So taking gong fu or kung fu outside of the whole martial arts thing, and then I'm bringing it right here into the occult conscious thing, you can tell motherfuckers don't have kung fu, or they have little kung fu. They don't have skill. They don't have practice. They don't have experiential learning. So they're telling you a bunch of shit as you would that somewhere in New York on a soapbox. You know what I'm saying? You just a mouthpiece for the most part. You're not a practitioner. You're not a motherfucker who does this shit. And that's why you need to help. I'm trying to help you separate me from all those other undisciplined motherfuckers. Please do. We deal with skill. We deal with self-discipline. We deal with concentration. We deal with expanding the attention span, not just expanding our information on a narrow subject about something in history or something in Egypt or something in the occult. No, nigga. We deal with the whole skillful endeavor. That's what we do. That's what I do. And I'm glad that there's, because when I first started this YouTube thing, there was all types of viewers. But once the kung fu came in, once the discipline came in, once I started taking videos down and trying to see who wanted to be disciplined, the viewership went down. Now, if I was into showmanship, I wouldn't have done that. It would have been, the theater would have continued. But luckily for you, if you're going to watch this and you're going to take this seriously, you're getting more than a theatrical play. Yes, I could be funny. Yes, I could be entertaining if you find me to be that, especially on my Instagram page, Black Absurdist, hashtag Black Absurdist. But yes, man, this is what I'm trying to get you to do for your own sake. Because you think that you won't be tested. That's what you think, don't you? You be thinking that like no one's going to test you, like events won't conspire to test you, like you won't be tried and tested. You said you were spiritual. Let's put that to the test. You said you was in the occult. Let's see. Let's put you in a situation and see if how occult you are in that situation. Let's see. Because is the mouthpiece can go all day. Yep, 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 yep. That can go all day. Let's put you in a situation or an event where all that shit you were saying is now put to the test. See, when you have the kung fu, when you have the self-discipline, you don't worry about shit like that. Bring the test. We welcome tests. We welcome the motherfucking difficulty. Now, let me be clear, not a difficulty for you undisciplined Jones, not that type of difficulty. Because again, we're doing the practices, we're doing the fucking kung fu. So we get a different a certain level of challenge that tests our kung fu based on how much we've learned so far. You know what I'm saying? But just some general things that I just wanted to talk about is like, a lot of y'all know about these movies here, these Shaw Brother movies, these kung fu martial arts movies. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on this stuff even before I knew, about Wu-Tang Clan because this is, the basis of their philosophy, and a lot of their music has clips of these movies, their audio clips from these movies in their music. You know what I'm saying? But even before I was even into the Wu-Tang like that, my mom had bins of these movies. Like we talking about the video cassette era. You know what I mean? Where it had the black film in the tape, you gotta lift the door of the tape, and you know what I mean? Be kind rewind era. You know what I mean? Then switched over to DVD. But this is the era I'm from. Now these movies are fictional as far as I guess the storyline, and I guess some of these movies are based on real events from ancient times. Because my favorite kung fu movies are the ones that from the 70s that dealt with ancient or old time kung fu. Like I ain't really like kung fu in modern time. I like these movies right here where it's like it was the setting takes place like a couple centuries ago or like 3 or 4 centuries ago. Like even movies like the Five Deadly Venoms or the Cripple Combat or Cripple Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Fist of the White Lotus. Like me and my brothers resonated with these movies not simply because of their entertainment value or their story value, which is up there, but also because of the motherfucking kung fu in it. We wanted to practice this kung fu. We wanted to be like the White Lotus. We wanted to be like the Venoms, the Five Element Ninjas. Because a lot of this stuff in their movies is acrobatics, though. So, we would sit here try to practice those acrobatics and, epic fails. You know what I'm saying? Since we wasn't doing all those acrobatic flips like that, because that's a lot of these actors are trained in acrobatics. Like they know how to do flips and somersaults and moonsaults. You know what I'm saying? Chinese salts, they know how to do that. But even just down to the motherfucking, one-on-one, hand-to-hand, or if you're dealing with a group of people like hand-to-hand combat, we used to practice that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it infect or not infected, but it affected me on a level where I wanted to do this shit for real. I wanted to be a kung fu master for real. And it took me all the way till I got to my 20s to be, officially inducted into an actual fighting temple or a kung fu temple. You know what I'm saying? But the movie, I guess one of the most popular movies in this whole thing is the Venoms. Five Venoms. I know it's probably on Netflix or it's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. Or there's other devious ways you can watch movies. I'm not going to say how you're going to do that, but hold on. This movie, like for anybody, it stuck out the most to us. But for me, it stuck out to me because of the training and skillful kung fu that each member of the Five Venoms had to go through. because they all had their own unique kung fu regimen that they had to stick to in order to learn their poison technique. So actually, the movie could be called the Poison Clan because that's what they are in the movie. You know what I'm saying? 5 deadly venoms. You had the centipede, snake, scorpion, lizard, and toad. And they each had their own training, specialized kung fu that they had to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, all those acrobatics and a lot of that stuff can probably veer more on the fantastical, fictional side, but the training is real. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of training I do. That's the type of practice I do. I see a parallel with that. You feel me? And going back to this definition, both a form of exercise with a spiritual dimension stemming from concentration and self-discipline. That is mainly what I do. So now that my spiritual skills, since I'm calling myself a spiritualist and I'm talking about spirituality on the regular, I have a discipline behind that. I have a practice to do behind that. That's not lip service. That's more experiential learning service. That's what I do. That's why this movie kind of resonates so much with me. Because even the Toad, hold on, that's Cripple Avengers. I'm still on 5 Venoms. So even like, for example, the Toad, he has super fucking durable skin. Like you can't stab this nigga with a sword. You can't spear him. You can't do nothing with his skin. His skin is fucking invincible. Do you know how long he has to train for that? Do you know what type of things he has to eat? Exercises he has to do for his skin to be damn near invincible? Like steel? See, this is different from mutants because, I did a whole live stream about X-Men. This is a little different from X-Men and mutants because these are people that's kind of born with it. This is just people right here with the 5 Venoms. They just go through the fucking training. They go through the daily practice, the daily toil to achieve or earn that ability. Is it starting to have an effect on you that I'm saying this stuff? You feel me? Well, let me take a break right quick. Let's take a break right quick. We're going to get right back into it. Let's take a quick break, man. Greetings, folks. This is Achad. Had to cut into the video to let you know that this book here, Wholography, now it's on Kindle, Amazon Kindle. So if you have the Kindle service, you can definitely check it out. There's even a longer sample for you to read where, you can really get into if you really want to know about my book or not. For me, it's more about getting the book out there rather than trying to make, a sale exclusively. So, but if you are one of those scholars where you want the book, you want to do some highlighting and some annotating, and you really want to tear it apart, which that's what I really want you to do, then definitely go to my website, holographer.com/the-book. You know what I'm saying? And do it that way. Either way is cool with me. And now back to the video. going on? We back at it, man. Back at it. Dealing with Tao Kung Fu. So now in this section of this whole live stream, hold on, let me put the banner on so you know where to get the book. Holography. Um, like I said before the break, I was talking about, this movie Five Deadly Venoms or Five Venoms or Poison Clan, and so many different names for this damn movie. Um, you know, the training that these motherfuckers had to go through to learn these skills. You got the lizard, he can climb walls, so he can defy gravity. Is that not a spiritual thing? You know what I'm saying? Is it not? Tell me if it is, tell me if it ain't. But in order for a person like that to have that skill, you see in the movie where they practice these skills or these trainings, this kung fu, in order to be able to do such a thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, another movie that's important to me is what's the movie called? Invincible Armor. Hold on, is it Invincible Armor or Born Invincible? Hold on, let me see if it might be Born Invincible. Because this movie spends like a lot of time in the beginning. Like, yeah, here we go. This motherfucker right here. This dude with the white hair is ill because he spends, just his character spends, the beginning of the movie. They show you like his rigorous training regimen that he has to go through in order to be literally have that invincibility. You know what I'm saying? He got to eat a special diet. He has to do certain exercises. He has to endure certain tests, certain pressures, certain fucking, you know what I'm saying? Weight, like this is strenuous. But the payoff is that he becomes damn near invincible. You know what I'm saying? And then they like to put in the plot point of, like them having a weak spot. So even if you go back to the Five Venoms movie where it says, the Toad's weak spot is his ears, you know what I'm saying? So they throw a fucking poisonous disc into his ears, you know what I'm saying? And then that breaks his kung fu, which brings me to my next point. When you are disciplined like that, who can break your kung fu? See, this is why I'm so, in urge and sitting here and putting this video out. Who can break your kung fu when you that disciplined? See, a lot of y'all can be broken easily. You can be broken. You can be stepped on. You can be plucked. The issue is that you haven't been plucked yet. You haven't been crushed. You've been evading, confrontation. Like you don't want nobody to test you on your shit. I've been tested. I've been criticized. I've been, you know what I'm saying? And I welcome it. So anybody want to challenge me on anything I'm talking about, you can sit here and go in the comment section or do what you want to do. But what I'm telling you is you're going to have a hard time doing the shit because of the level of discipline that I engage in. Because what you think between two karate masters, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to win? Like if it's a fair and square match between one karate man and another karate man, who's going to win that? How do we determine that? I'm gonna tell you that the motherfucker that's more disciplined and has the ability to, put in, different types and can think outside of certain parameters, that motherfucker's gonna win that match. And just by being disciplined, his wind is not going to give out on him as fast. So he probably has an endurance and a stamina that's greater than the other person's. So that came through discipline, practicing that. Because you can, like, for example, if I kicked you in your stomach, you kicked me in mine, you get your wind knocked out of you, right? But if I have the greater stamina, that shit, I can brush that off and keep fighting. You're probably still not, you got the wind knocked out of you. You won't even know if you can still go toe to toe with me after that. Now we take that abstract or that understanding and apply it to this whole spiritual thing. Because you think that, just because you're saying that you're spiritual or doing this stuff, you think that that's automatic, protection, or you're somehow shielded from tests. I look at this whole life that I live as a test, more so a test of the mind, and then on a lesser extent, a test of the flesh. You know what I mean? This is discipline we're talking about. Some people don't want to hear this shit. And it's like, good. I don't want to speak to those that don't understand the importance of discipline. I'm not the first one to sit here and promote and talk about this shit. You even if you like, for example, if you trying to lose weight or you trying to go on a diet, what do you think that is? That requires discipline. You think you're gonna cheat your way by taking pills? There's consequences to try to, you know what I'm saying? Trying to take shortcuts when you should be doing discipline. Like motherfuckers be getting surgeries and taking all these pills. You don't know what's in the pill. You just want to see that there was a result, but you don't know the consequences behind those results. Just do it the old-fashioned way and get disciplined. Go to a gym, just practice discipline, practice doing 20 squats a day. Start off small, do 10 squats, then increase 10, then 30 and 40. It's a much more rewarding process when you do things that way. The shortcuts will always be the downfall. I remember in one of these videos, I was talking about the what's his name, the Liver King. Like this buff, short ass buff dude that goes around, selling these herbal, or not, I ain't gonna say herbal supplements, but these supplements where he freeze dries animal organs and nuts and shit like that. And he pulverizes it into a powder and sells it in capsule form, and he's making millions of dollars off of that. You know what I'm saying? But what he was doing is that he was going around acting like he was buff like that because he was just exercising and eating, beef organs and shit. When actually, through emails being leaked, we find out that this nigga was taking performance enhancing drugs and steroids. So he was trying to promote to you that he was disciplined in this shit, but he was actually taking PEDs the whole time. And I'm like, that thing right there is not exclusive to him or his situation. It's universal. It's everywhere. It's showmanship for a lot of y'all motherfuckers. It's not showmanship for me. Unless, of course, I'm showing you discipline or showing you the path to that, the kung fu. Because some of y'all claim to be psychic. I've been in experiences where motherfuckers claim to be psychics and it failed. So they said they were psychic, but it proved to be that they were not as psychic as they thought they were. You know what I'm saying? I've been in those situations where motherfuckers think they were lord over me because I was studying up under them, and come to find out they were just as fucking fallible and flawed as I was, and was in no motherfucking position to teach no one. Yeah, you probably know more about the shit than I do, but you're not disciplined in it. That's the difference between me and you. If there is a gap of information, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just satisfied with someone having written a book or someone telling you something. You're not really actually doing the praxis. You're not doing the kung fu, the gong fu, grasshopper. And I love this, again, going back to this encyclopedia definition, with a spiritual dimension. So the kung fu that I practice, there is a martial aspect to it, but the focus is on the spiritual aspect. It's on the aspect of Tao or Dao, because in this title of this live stream is Dao Kung Fu. So that's what the central part of my kung fu is all about. So you know about the yin and the yang. That's the most, common thing known about it. But it goes so much more depthical and much higher than just, I mean, at the basis is yin and yang, but there's so many different applications and understandings that come from that. You know what I'm saying? This is why I what I'm saying, I'm telling you now, if you are into occult or spirituality or metaphysics, practice a martial art along with it. Because here's the thing. Here, and I'm going to give you just a tidbit of the understanding of this. Now, for those of you that subscribe to the Carl Jung structure of the mind, like you have your ego, your persona, your animus if you're a woman, anima if you're a man, the shadow, self, the unconscious, the subconscious, the collective unconscious. Like if you subscribe to that, right? A mapping of the mind, right? So let's deal with subconscious. So A lot of reasons why you can be as smart as you can be as conscious as you think you are. Why are you still experiencing misfortune? Why are you still getting into car accidents? Why are you still coming down with terminal illnesses? Why are you still getting snuck and punched in the face? Why are animals attacking you? Why are you experiencing all these different high level failures and downfalls when you're supposed to be spiritual and being able to sidestep and evade, shit like that? You know what I mean? You're so conscious though. You're so woke though. You're so occult though, but you still experiencing the same shit as humans do. And you said you was beyond human. You said you was a spirit having a human experience. You said you was a god. You said you was, some of y'all saying y'all chaos being. You're titans, but you're still going through the same shit as your human counterparts. The same misfortunes, the same hiccups, same fuck ups. Now, the reason I brought up subconscious is that when you get into the discipline and the kung fu of this shit, your subconscious, so quote unquote, your undermind, your that gets structured. So not just you, just as the ego consciousness, but your entire mind comes under a new structure. And because of that structure, things that used to fuck you up can't fuck you up anymore because of the structure. The end structure. I talk about it in my book. Another reason to put it on the screen. I talk about end structure in the discipline chapter, chapter 16. End structure, inner work, energy. So now, because of the discipline I practice, my end structure is damn near invincible. It's damn near invincible. You can't break it. That's the reason to be in Kung Fu, especially if we're talking about spiritual dimension along with that skill. Because if you're psychic, how come you're only psychic to an extent if that's what you truly are? If you truly are clairvoyant or clairsentient or clairgustant, all these clairs, how come it's not as strong as that or as strong as it could be? Because I ain't gonna sit here and doubt that that you're psychic. I'm gonna doubt how psychic you are. So you saying you having these premonitions and you're able to read thoughts and be telepathic and all this shit, but it's to an extent. It's not the potential that it could be. You only get it in flashes when it should be more streamlined, where it's damn near every day you can do it. But the reason it's not like that is because you don't do the discipline. You're not kung fu. You don't practice the skill. You think it's just a talent that you can just do, and then that's it. As opposed to me, like for example, let's say you are clairvoyant or you are telepathic, right? And let's say I only have a fourth of that telepathy as a talent. Your talent is that you have a high level of being able to read minds, right? Or read auras, whatever the fuck you do. And I only have a fourth of that. You was born with three more fourths to your shit, right? If I had a fourth of that shit, I could sit here and go through a kung fu regimen or a training or a fucking exercises, a discipline, and be damn near 5 times more powerful than you at that telepathy you claim to have. You care to argue that? You care to debate that? Because it's just like if you natural at playing basketball. I use this metaphor a lot. You're just born basketball player. You got dribble. You got hand. You can handle the ball. You can dunk. You can do all that. But because of that level of talent, you fucking disregard the practice. You don't come to practice. You don't practice as hard as the other players. You know what I'm saying? So in your mind, you think you don't need to practice because you just have the natural talent and the power. That's why it drops your jaw when you go up against someone from another team who has same talent, maybe a little less, but they're more practiced in it than you are. So you get your bubble bursted when they do a crossover and break your ankles and shoot a shot right in your face. But you're supposed to be the best fucking basketball player ever, right? Right? It's all showmanship. It's all exhibition for y'all. You know what I mean? And I would love to get you over that hump so you could do the real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, like these books like the Cyclomancy and these hidden power of the subconscious, whatever these books is. Well, so what if you ain't practicing them on the regular? So what? Scared of you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Put your psychic power to the test. I'll test you. You gonna test me, right? I'm gonna test you. Don't think that you're gonna test me and I can't test you back. Because that's what you said you was. Right? See, this is what social media does. It doesn't cause anything so much as it reveals things. You know what I mean? Because it's already in you that you want to sit out here and come out here and be an exhibitionist. You want to show off. You know what I'm saying? You want to be that basketball player that, do all these fucking and one tricks. Remember the and one mixtapes when they do the, what I'm saying? And one mixtapes and shit. They put the ball in their shirt. You know what I mean? Remember that? You might not be hood enough for that. Hot sauce in them. But anyway, that's the point of my life here. Like this is what we're talking about. Talent is not enough, my nigga. Get into the discipline of your shit. Get into the kung fu of your shit. You know what I'm saying? Show the spirits or the spirit realm that you are beyond human folly by doing your discipline. How about that? Don't you know certain types of, kung fu or certain types of discipline will get you certain, what I'm saying? You'll get kudos, you'll get respect from spirits, certain entities and shit like that. You didn't know that? Because why should they respect you when you are not of a disciplined nature? You are of a human nature who just feeds into their earthly desires all the time. Why would they work with you? You're just an animal, just like the bird and the snake and the fucking chimpanzee and the dog. Hell, some dogs are more disciplined than you. You know what I'm saying? Cats even be disciplined to you. You're just an animal. You don't care to discipline yourself. You don't care to get into a structure beyond the human shit you're given here in this earth plane. See, when I talk about discipline, we're talking about a spiritual discipline. Like I said, a spiritual dimension. I have it highlighted on my screen right here. Let me highlight it again if you didn't catch it. This is what separates the mature from the immature, the majority from the minority, the master from the motherfucking slave. You know what I'm saying? This is what makes you number one. But it's so hard. It's so hard for y'all to get in line. But like I said, going back to the subconscious thing, because it's unstructured, because you're not putting it in the structure that it needs to be, you're not participating in a higher, structure of yourself. Of course, you're going to go through all the dumb shit that all the rest of the humans go through here. So, a point to get into the discipline is to save yourself from human bullshit. A lot of things affect a lot of humans because a lot of humans aren't structuring themselves that protects them from that human shit. And it's real. And because of what I do, I can readily recognize who's kung fu and who ain't. It ain't just about the motherfucking, saying the hand. It's not that. It's part of that. It's not the whole thing. It's your skill and your motherfucking performance. It's your experiential learning. I see the most devastating things happen to people around me, people in the world, people over there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I can tell that motherfucker's undisciplined. I can just tell. Because if you were disciplined, none of that bullshit would have happened to you. It wouldn't have happened to you. Shit like that only happens to undisciplined, unkung fu individuals. I experienced it for myself. You think I'm lying? You think this is deception? Why do you think I'll be banging discipline all day? Because we know the difference between those who are and those who aren't. I also wanted to talk about this here. I really would want you to watch this documentary. It's the Black Kung Fu Experience. Do watch it. You know what I'm saying? If you got Amazon Prime, I think it's on there now. Or, you know what I'm saying, it might even be on YouTube. I'm not totally sure. Do watch this film. This documentary, rather. Because, you know, when it comes to Kung Fu, you know, it's always Asian. But, you know, we had, you know, us of this skin tone, this skin color, we have our history in this shit too. Not to mention the millennia of us having, you know, Mantu arts, you know, for those of you that are into, you know, the whole African thing, you know, we have all types of martial arts histories. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just China or Japan or anything like that. Korea, it's not that. It's universal. But, you know, in these times now, you know, because of globalization of the whole, you know, Shaw Brothers and Bruce Lee movies and all that shit, you know, you think it's just exclusively Asian. I forgot this brother's name. He's a real yeah, I forgot his. Okay, I think it's Oso Teari or Teari Cassell. He's in this documentary. You know what I'm saying? Ron Van Cleef, classic martial arts in the movies. You know what I'm saying? Jim Kelly. Hell, Michael Jai White. He's a Does he make? I forgot if he's in this movie or in this documentary. Because this documentary is dealing with, you know, mostly from like the 70s and 80s, and then they deal with some modern martial arts or martial artists. But yeah, man, yeah, I'll put Michael Jai White in there too. You know, just for the martial artists, not for anything else. You know what I'm saying? Just the martial arts. Dennis Brown, because you know most of us just know about the Bruce Lees, the Jet Lees, the Donnie Yens, and no disrespect to them, the Donnie Yens, Jackie Chan's. You know what I'm saying? Gordon Liu's. You know what I mean? The Thailand Ong Bak, whatever you say that shit, Ong Bak. They could put out 3 of those movies. But what about the Van Cleefs, the Dennis Browns? You know what I'm saying? The Jim Kellys. Feel me? What about them? We need to see us in these martial arts. There's even books. I forgot which book I could have showed you. I forgot the book. Y'all probably know what the fucking book is called. I ain't gonna type it up here because if I would do that, I would just do a separate live stream for that one. But yeah, man. But just going back to kung fu itself, like you know, I just give you some basic shit. Like for example, dragon and tiger. You usually see a dragon and tiger in Chinese iconography, or when it comes to like martial arts, there's the dragon, then the tiger, or you even see the dragon and the phoenix. What do you think this shit is symbolizing? Because now we can get into our semiotics bag. You know what I'm saying? Deal with signs and symbols. From how I understand or how it was told to me, or how, you know, and also how I studied it, you know, the tiger is all about brute force, while the dragon is more spiritual. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people's fighting styles and their styles to life, their approaches to life is brute force. There's no technique involved. There's no higher abstractual thought. It's just rah rah like a fucking tiger all day. You know what I'm saying? But a dragon is way more mastered and spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's about the higher. It's the higher game. It's the higher vantage point. You know what I'm saying? Higher viewpoint. That's the type of kung fu I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And when there's time to be a tiger, you be the tiger. You do your brute force. You use your physical. You know, whenever you need to use it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I almost knocked my damn desk over. Here we go. Especially if you're in a situation, but here's the thing, like you're in a situation where you have to attack somebody physically, But from a dragon point of view, why are you even in the fucking situation where you have to attack someone physically? Have ever heard of Sun Tzu, the whole Art of War book? What's one of the most famous sayings from that book or quotes from that book? Winning the fight before it even began, winning the battle before the battle even begins. That's a chess move. That's a chess move, nigga. That's a chess move. Let's move. You know what I mean? Let's groove. Chess move. Let's groove. Tap the mic like chess move. You know what I mean? That's the dragon point of view. The tiger is just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna just go in there and just claw these niggas down." You know what I'm saying? There's no real forethought or spiritual understanding. It's just you're going into the battle and you're just going to bite and claw down and beat down, and that's your, you know, your strategy. It's like, nah, from a dragon point of view, why are you even in the war? Why are you even going to battle? Because there's something that you lost within yourself, like you lost a war within yourself. And not to say that it's here to avoid fighting, but it's okay, what type of fight are you into? Because you can be defined by the type of fights. So, for example, if you just some, hood rat where y'all, you see the video, not to disparage any women, but the hood rats that you see in these videos on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok where they fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? Pulling each other weaves out and shit. Titty got pulled out and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it ain't a hood rat fight if the titty don't come out. I turn it off if there's no titties out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you. Maybe your taste level is a little bit, different from mine, but just look at her life and how she has to she's engaged in these physical battles like that. Look at where she's at. It's not even just her environment, it's her mentality, it's her spirituality, it's her structure. You think a woman like that is disciplined and on some kung fu? Not even just kung fu, like, for physical battle, but just within her life. You can tell. It's not even just the hood rat, it's anybody in the world. It's motherfuckers that you sit here and look up to because they famous or they celebrities or they got money, they millionaires. They're not kung fu though, they're not disciplined. So guess what? That money that they got, that fame that they got, is going to turn against them. And any enemies they face is really just a reflection of them losing battles internally. That inner work is fucked up. That energy ain't right. Mm-hmm. So y'all sitting here looking up to these celebrities, these athletes. It's like these niggas ain't disciplined though. So guess what? They gonna experience the same fucking tragedies and downfalls and pitfalls as the rest of the human population. The only difference is it's on a grand scale for everybody to see. See, your fuck ups, no, the world doesn't know about. But a famous person's fuck ups, it's recorded in history. It's on TV. It's on your social media fucking feed. It's on your explore page on Instagram. But you're looking up to these undisciplined individuals because someone gave them the fucking leeway to become famous, or they gave them the money to put them in front of you like that. They become your heroes, the thing that you want to aspire to be. Why not aspire to be more disciplined, to be more strong and more structured in your kung fu training? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not martial arts, like let's say you write books like me. How come your book hasn't been written yet? You gonna give me an excuse is like you don't have the time, or you don't have you taking care of kids? I was still able to do my book with all that going on. There's discipline. I had to sit here and write every day. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. There was a gap between me writing it, but once I got back on, discipline. You know what I'm saying? It was more so not even being interested in writing the book halfway through it, but it got done. It's been completed. It's being sold. It's being advertised to you in all these videos I make. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to be necessarily martial arts. It can be, I don't know, you're an artist. You sing, you rap, you dance. Because I figure if you're going to be somebody that if you become successful in your shit, and then you be sitting here talking about it was hard work. I'm thinking you talking about discipline. Some niggas be lying and saying it's hard work. It's like, no, you was just kissing ass a lot. You opened your booty hole for the Illuminati. You did something like that. And then try to come among us talking about something. Oh, it was hard work, determination. I had to skip sleep. Niggas be like Gary V, like these motherfuckers that sit here and, act like they did some hard work, not knowing that these niggas come from money. You know what I mean? Born into money, come from money. Or like I said, it doesn't even have to be that. You was just in the right place at the right time and met the right people. You know what I mean? Just in case, like for example, you may be somebody out there that you are hard at work at your craft, like you're hard at work being a chef, or you're hard at work, being some sort of athlete or even martial artist or whatever you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, you paint, what you do? You make clothes. You've been doing this shit for you make videos, you make comedy you've been hard working your comedy videos for years. And you see motherfuckers just shoot up to stardom just like that. Just like that. Just shoot up to stardom, just like that. And you're like, man, I've been fucking working hard for 10 years. How this nigga? Again, there's several factors. They either knew the right people, it was in the right place at the right time, or they opened their booty hole for the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? They did something like that. But I'm telling you not to give up. Keep to your kung fu. You know what I mean? Keep to your kung fu. If you're a fucking acrobat, learn to flip 6 times in one flip instead of 8, or excuse me, instead of 4. You know what I'm saying? Get to 8. Keep practicing. Keep going in. Get that experiential learning. That's the gold. You trying to focus on the success? Get the gold first. Get the fucking experiential learning first. Because I even look at my situation, like me having been writing books for so long and writing for so long, I'm like, damn, why haven't I reached superstardom with this shit yet? It's like, get the experiential learning. That's the goal of this shit. What if you came here just to acquire that gold? Because you can go throughout life and never be that fucking successful writer or never be that successful basketball player. Or be that, super duper comedian like a Dave Chappelle or something like that. But what about the journey that you took to get to where you are now? What did it teach you? What did it reveal about you? This is a part of my fucking discipline. This is part of my spiritual learning, bro. Sis. This is what we do. So all this may be some fly shit. Like you see a lot of these movies where they're doing all this fly kung fu shit. What the hell? You know what I mean? They know pressure points and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's part of what I do. Yeah, we do that. We study that. You know what I'm saying? But even before you get to all the fly shit, you got, even in these movies where, like for example, let's go to 36 Chambers. Probably the most popular fucking Chinese martial arts film ever made. Wu-Tang kind of based their whole shit off of this. They called Staten Island Shaolin. This movie right here, Gordon Liu. With the rings on his shit. You know what I'm saying? I love that fucking clip that, the beginning of the movie where he does the shit with the rings. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He doing that shit. Look at this movie. Look at all the fucking chambers he had to go through in order to become the master of his craft. He had to go through 35 chambers. 35 of them. And it was menial tasks. Like it wasn't nothing super advanced. Like, for example, in this picture, he has to hold these 2 buckets of water, but he has the knives coming down attached from his arm. And that's to keep him from lowering the basket. He got to keep the water baskets up. Because if not, the knives are going to cut into his side. And it's going to hurt like hell. You know what I mean? So that's a fucking training. It's simple, but over time, and he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And now he does it with mastery. You know what I'm saying? He even gets punished for trying to help out his brothers, in their shit. But the Shaolin master said, "Nah, nigga, you help yourself. They have to go through that shit and help themselves." So that was a lesson too. That was kind of unexpected because he wasn't, you know, who knew he was going to try to help his brother. But that's another lesson within the lesson. Is why I say, just like rating for Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? Every mortal is responsible for his or her own destiny. And what I'm gonna do after this, after this video, I'm gonna maybe in a couple days or so, we're gonna get into Mortal Kombat because they just came out with the little requel or reboot. So Mortal Kombat fans out there, got a video coming out, um, coming out to talk about Mortal Kombat and its mythology. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a very rich, deep 30-year-old mythology that it has, and it relates to a lot of mythologies that are much, much older than that. You know what I'm saying? Like the vigorous fucking trainings. Like it's simple menial tasks because everybody want to get to the fly shit without doing the fucking kung fu first. You got to get the basics down first, cuz you trying to rush into shit and you ain't even fucking get the basics down. Simple shit. Not even testing your strength or your speed, also testing your patience. Because again, this is 35 chambers. I forgot how long it takes him, like how many years, you know what I'm saying, for him to get to the 35th chamber and complete it. But because he becomes a master after the 35, he now comes up with a new chamber, 36, that go out into the world and teach more people the kung fu. Only masters get to bring on a new chamber. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to designate myself as a master. I'm going to designate that I am of the kung fu in, going towards that direction of mastery. Because maybe I have some years in me that I have to put in for it to be like a complete mastery where it's like there's no denial of it. You know what I mean? Where there's no motherfucking question of it. You can test it and I'll pass every test. You know what I mean? Because if you got to you pass all 35 chambers, nigga, you gotta be the master. Look at this nigga, man. It's one of my favorite. It's everybody's favorite movie, damn near, because it's like a movie of perseverance and mastery. Perfect fucking movie to explain that. You should be teaching this shit in school. Like this should be a part of a college course on discipline. You feel me? Discipline. That motherfucking that kung fu. Teach Shaolin Gong Fu. We must teach kung fu to more young men and women. Must now be taught to worthwhile women and men. Because there's some fly ass female martial artists too. You know what I'm saying? Let me include y'all because y'all be getting mad because I don't be saying. They're like, well, women can do it too. Let's just do female Shaolin monks. You got women's little girls doing their thing. Disciplined girl. That's the best girl to have, a disciplined one. Why would you want to all wild and all outside? She don't put deodorant on. She don't take bath. I don't want that. I want a disciplined John. You know what I mean? That'd be the downfall of a nigga. That'd be a downfall of a man. He got an undisciplined woman on his side. Idiot. Why would you want her in your cipher? In your circle, cuz? If you discipline, make sure your woman is on that level or getting there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You looking for somebody on a level and you already kind of like, already there with your shit. You know what I'm saying? You might have a hard time finding somebody, or that might not happen for you. But if you find, you know what I'm saying, a sweetheart that's, she's willing to get in line with what you got going on, bonus. Women doing their kung fu thing. But yeah, that's what I just want to come through and speak to y'all. Like, hey, this is why I'm talking about discipline. It could save your life. It's part of the salvation, baby. Salvation, salt, crystalline. Come on, man. It's right in the fucking etymology, dog. Come on, love. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. It be right there in the fucking root and seed of the words, man. That's why salt is so fucking important. You know what I mean? They try to, put out this propaganda that, too much salt in your diet and you fuck you up or something like that. No, no. The more salt, the better. This is salt water I'm drinking, nigga. I've been slipping on it because I've been drinking some other stuff, but it's regular salt water, bro. Salvation, salt. You put things in salt, you preserve it, and you make it last longer. That's why they did that with the meat. You salt the meat, you salt the fish. It preserves it longer. What do you think if you dealing with salt on a spiritual level? What do you think it's going to do for you? Come on, man. Be real about your shit. Get that experiential discipline. But this is Achad, man. I want to sign off right now. So again, let me go back to what I'm advertising. Wholography, the Patreon. Da'at Keter. Da'at deals with one level. Keter takes you to the next. If you get into Keter, you get all Da'at plus more. Daf Star Legacy content, DSL, and Alchemy of the Isis Thesis. Because again, I'm going to keep saying it because y'all kept hitting me up. Y'all wanted somebody to break this stuff down in simpler terms. You wanted someone to explain it because the books was too dense. So now that I'm doing it, where you at? You coming through? I ain't being expensive. You know what I'm saying? I was going to charge way more for this shit. Not being expensive, but that's what you asked for. Now it's being provided. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, God. Let me go ahead and show them people that's already, you know what I'm saying? Kudos to them for the support. Like I said, make sure you get this in your arsenal and be sharper with your discipline and your understanding about existence itself. Ontology, holography. Go on, get that. And I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all.